gang, welcome to the Jim Masters Show as we celebrate the iconic series Baywatch. After Baywatch, Moment in the Sun, we've got some surprise guests who are joining us, dear friends of our show, dear friends of mine. They're returning because they've played pivotal roles in After Baywatch. We're really excited about it as we celebrate, of course, the original Baywatch, which everybody remembers so well. Matter of fact, Baywatch, if you didn't know, I would know, working in television and all, but behind the scenes and on camera. But for those of you who didn't know, it is the most watched series on the planet, Baywatch. And there's a very special docu-series. If you didn't get a chance to see it yet, there are opportunities to see it. Matter of fact, it is taking the world by storm because Baywatch has always been so well received and so popular. After Baywatch really takes it a little bit further because they have these incredible profiles with the stars from the series, which is something really cool. Profile is the most watched series on the planet, Baywatch, featuring never before seen home videos and intimate interviews with the Baywatch stars. It is open, it's raw, it's real, it's authentic, it's fun, and it's eye-opening and riveting too. It reveals the roller coaster ride of fame for the most iconic stars part of that series. Of course, not everything is always cracked to be what you think it is. And so they go deep in this docu-series, which is really something special. And our guests, who you will recognize as familiar faces, will be joining us in just a second as we celebrate, again, Baywatch and After Baywatch. And as I mentioned, the docu-series has some really incredible interviews with some of the people who really made their name in that series and took it one step further in this docuseries. It's very, very surprising. A lot of incredible stories. And this has been well received, again, by viewers around the world. It's been streaming on Hulu, presentation of ABC Studios. And again, some really, really cool conversations, not exactly always what you think. If you only saw the series for the series itself and the joy of Baywatch and the beach scenes and everything, there was a lot of stuff that went on behind the scenes and a lot of things that happened in all of the stars' lives since the series. And again, they're very open and they're real about it. And they share it in After Baywatch, which is something great. So we have two very, very well-known people joining us, dear friends of our show, and they're going to celebrate After Baywatch. They'll also update us on other things that they're doing as well, but they've been very integral in terms of being involved in this series, and we're excited about that. So with that said, before we bring them on, we want to show you a little official trailer, which is the trailer from After Baywatch, Moment in the Sun. And then our special guests join us in just a second. Take a look at the trailer and we'll be right back. Here it is. It's a really cool one, too. It's not that long. It's about 2 minutes. So here we go.
Baywatch is a fantasy.
Baywatch was sexy.
Baywatch was the #1 show in the world.
It was hot.
When you hear that theme song,
I had no idea how much fun I was going to have.
It was addicting. People were just hungry. We were eating that stuff alive.
it was a wild time, and I was a wild chick.
Everyone tuned in to watch the show because you knew you were going to see someone sexy.
I mean, everybody was pretty.
Not just white women can look hot and sexy. Anyone can do it.
Jason Momoa exploded off of Baywatch.
Carmen was a bombshell who had something to say.
Pamela Anderson was an icon.
Pamela was this sweet girl from Canada who came to get the American dream.
I'm really proud of everything I've done. Almost.
Baywatch was a whirlwind of epic highs and bitter lows.
It was a lot of pressure.
They had to wear next to nothing.
You want me to wear this?
What?
He with the best abs wins, or she with the best boobs wins.
They just wanted to put you under a microscope and see where your flaws are.
Everybody was disposable, and if you didn't fit into their brand, you were gone.
Baywatch empowered me. Every now and then it hurt me. But so do the people and the things we love. I need to take a break, okay?
Greed, lust, fame.
It's crazy.
It changed everything.
It was about pushing the envelope.
Iconic. So hot.
Everyone likes to watch sexy things.
Really amazing, everybody. That was the trailer for the docu-series. And now I'm going to bring on my very special guests joining us. You may recognize their fabulous faces, and we're so excited to have them back on our show to talk about this really cool project. Get ready, folks. We have joining us international model and entrepreneur extraordinaire. The wonderful Kara Young is with us, and also joining us, a great friend of our show. He's been on several episodes, especially the tribute episodes. The internationally revered and beloved celebrity fashion designer and an entrepreneur and TV host and so much more. Wayne Scott Lucas is back in the house on the Jim Masters Show.
Hello.
Hey, gang. Welcome.
We're in New York City.
New York City, where the action is, the Big Apple. How have you guys been?
We've been really well. The show was fun, right? And sad
it really
too.
was.
It was beautiful.
Tell the audience watching your involvement in it.
I don't think Carl was so sad traveling all through Europe last time.
No, I'll tell you.
Too. Paris last week. Not bad.
Oh my God, he's breaking my house apart. Our involvement in the show was they wanted to talk to people who were relevant in the 90s. And because of what we did in the 90s with him being a stylist and me being a model, it was the same time period as the Baywatch phenomenon was going on. So they wanted to talk to people who were doing the same sort of things, myself with Sports Illustrated and
Victoria's Secret.
And Victoria's Secrets, yeah. So that's people only care about the body stuff. They don't care about anything else you did.
But what was so great is all the girls we were working with on the shoots ended up getting on Baywatch.
Yeah.
So like the models you worked with Revlon or with Victoria's Secret ended up being on Baywatch. So it was like the hot show to get on, the hot show to do. And looking back now, it was so the moment of the 80s, 90s. It really was. And it encapsulates everything that we went through and then how these people have grown. And then the thing is about how the world, it seems so joyful and wonderful when you get the job. And then when you have to live your real life out of the camera, you see that life really is tough. Life is a bunch of tough experiences with some fairy dust sprinkled in. So you have to really appreciate it when the good happens.
It's an escape.
That's so right. And
hello, it's an escape.
The show is an escape.
They should redo it.
It really is. And you've been involved as a producer, right, Wayne? Tell us about that. That's kind of cool, huh?
You know, my friend Matt Felker, who produced it, wanted us to do the show. I didn't do a producer credit, but I actually helped him get a lot of the photography. I helped him get Paulina Poroskova's in it, Cara is in it, Sante Durazio, Cara's old friend, partner, is in it, husband, because he shot Pam Anderson for some of the most iconic pictures that Pam ever shot. So our whole crowd ended up being people that Matt wanted in the documentary to talk about the 80s and the 90s as experts of what that was like. And it was fun because we did it as friends. We did it at Cara's house. Cara lent our house to us. And you can also see Cara's house in Sex and the City. You can see Cara's house in a lot of different things, but we used it for Baywatch.
It was Making the Band House.
And it was, Cara lives in the original Making the Band House on MTV. This is the bathroom.
That is so cool, huh?
Except for it's nice now.
It's nicer now. Hello. So I brought those people in, and then Matt needed a place to shoot. Then he needed photos. And whenever he called, I just said yes, because we trusted him. We believed in him. We believed in the project. And Matt bled to make this project happen. He bled. And I don't think anybody knows how hard the work was. And the payoff is only the fact that he met great people and he told a great story, because financially, it's never a big payoff when you do TV like that.
And also it was during COVID that we did the show. So everybody had to be so careful here. Remember, we were at the house and everybody was masked up and separated. So it was a hard time to do something like that. But I think a lot of things got produced that were good during COVID.
You know, because we had time to kind of breathe a little bit, and the productions weren't as scary, Jim, as the productions you've been on. It was like we could think, we could breathe, we could edit. So everything was just passed off to Matt, and Matt produced a great 5-episode show that became the #1 show on Hulu within 2 days.
Yes.
And I just got this faxed to me and text. Now streaming on Disney in select countries and of course on Hulu. It is now all over Europe. Philippines, Serbia, Singapore, United Kingdom. I'll read this later when I have my glasses on, but this is now everywhere.
Don't cover my face.
So it released in Europe last week or 2 weeks ago, and now it's, you know, it was even bigger in Europe than America, and it was huge here.
Why do you think people still love Baywatch so much and the original? What is it about Baywatch that still resonates with people? I mean, there was no show really on television that was like it at that time or even really before. And, you know, the various iterations of it and celebrations of it, people still have an affinity for it. It was really something unique. What do you think is the reason, or a couple of reasons why people still can't get enough of anything Baywatch before?
I think it was lighthearted and very, very sexy. The girls looked amazing and the men looked good too. So it was something fun to watch, you know, not so heavy. I like dark shows, but that was definitely a fun show that I watched to chill out and relatable to my experience as well.
I feel like it's also a sense memory to the best parts of your life. Imagine being a teenager coming home from high school and sitting in your parents' house in 9th and 10th grade and seeing pretty girls on the screen and living in Wisconsin or Minnesota and seeing these LA beaches. It was a fantasy. You know, the sad part about the country and the good part is people love the fantasy. And if you can try to live that fantasy, you can look forward to getting a better life. Do you know what I mean? There was something very magical about that. And did they ever really have jobs other than swimming and like making out? Hello.
It's a full-time thing.
It's a full-time thing.
It's a full-time commitment.
For you, it's a commitment, swimming and making out. For me, you know, it's some work. You know what I'm saying? But I think that the history of what you saw and what they gave you a piece of life that you may not have experienced yourself. It was a fantasy and it worked. And you know what? Anybody could be one of those lifeguards. If you didn't have the body, you could work out. If you didn't have the hair, you could grow it. If you weren't a pretty girl, you could make yourself prettier. You could believe in yourself, every body shape and size. And as you know, actors on the show were gay. Actors on the show were lesbians. Actors on the show were all these things. And alcoholics. Hi, David. So, but you could be all those things, and then you could actually, you know, be like the people that you love.
Yeah, it's good.
How's that?
It was fun.
That's really, really cool. And why do you think he wanted to have After Baywatch now? What was it about now to put this together and to bring it to people? Because, you know, it's also reaching other generations who maybe never saw the original Baywatch, right?
Matt is a surfer, the producer in LA, and Matt lives this Malibu Baywatch life. Yeah. And you know what? His fantasy as a kid was that Baywatch life. And he'll tell you in the interviews how much he loved the actors that he's now working with. I think for Matt, seriously, personally, it was a sense memory also. He was reliving something that he loved, and he thought that he could share it with people. And the truth is, I said to Cara, look at Pam Anderson. She's everywhere, yes. No makeup, looking amazing, winning acting awards, having people give her accolades. And she said 2 days ago, she said, you know what? She said, it took this many years for me to reach my dream. And I thought, you would have thought her dream was Tommy Lee. Her dream was Baywatch. Her dream was the movie she was in and all the things. That wasn't her dream. This was her dream.
We went to see her in Chicago.
It was great.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
2 healthy kids. One is her manager, and she is now a successful actress doing actress things, not just body, shirt, sexy, and it's good.
And her documentary is good too.
Yeah, she's really special. She's special. So, and then all these other people, Nicole Eggert with her cancer. I mean, all these things matter to people so that you know you can survive, you can make it. You can be this and then you can be that, and life changes.
I think backstories are really interesting too. When you see a show that so many generations were obsessed with, every man watched that show, even just to, you know, to aspire to the girls in there. So I think that to know the backstory and what really went on with people was interesting. And it's always interesting to know the reality behind the myth.
And all the stories, all the TV shows now that we watch on Netflix, everywhere else, are backstory shows. The Office, everything is a backstory show. So for Matt to actually do a backstory documentary was genius. I call it actuality TV, not just reality TV.
That's a great way to describe it.
Hello,
Actuality
Jim.
TV. I like that. Another Wayne Scott Lucas exclusive right here on the Jim Master Show.
TV.
There have been many.
This reality TV is totally scripted.
Yeah, reality is totally scripted, but actuality is Nicole is suffering. You know, this one did this one got that, this one. And, you know, Pam didn't want to do the documentary. They got a couple never before seen interviews in it. I wish she would have done it, because if she had done it right before all this press came out of her looking like a different Pam, it would have been amazing. But we can put them together and just love her where she is.
You know, the documentary itself, the docu-series, is very open and revealing and authentic, and they really do. They don't hold back in those conversations.
No.
What was that whole process like? And were they all, you know, open easily? Or did you have to pull it out of them? What was that like?
I will tell you, what Matt went through to get people to do the documentary was very hard. But when Matt got them, and when you meet Matt, you'll meet him someday and you fall in love with him, just like he got me to do things and he got Cara to do things. He had such a passion for this that once people saw that he was authentic and honest as a producer, they gave him whatever he wanted. When he interviewed me, when he interviewed Cara, the interviews were so easy. You'd make a joke and he'd laugh. You would say something goofy and he would laugh again. He never attacked you for being your authentic self. So what you're going to get in this Baywatch doc is you're going to get authenticity and a real actuality documentary. And I'm telling you, whether you like Baywatch or not, watch this. There's gay, there's transgender, there's lesbian, there's bodies, there's sex, there's loss, there's gain, there's real life. Real people did that show. Real people suffered in that show, and real people succeeded after that show. So it really is an actual bit of magic.
We have some photos here too of some screenshots from the actual docu-series, and maybe you can do a little color play-by-play of what we're seeing in these shots here, guys.
This is Carmen Electra getting interviewed by Matt. And she has a really good part in the show talking about how it changed her career and changed her life. She was great in this.
Yeah, she was really fun. Yeah.
This girl, she was so great. Is that Lena Olin?
Yeah.
I can't see Gina Olin. I can't see the camera from here. But, you know, she spoke about what it was like to be an empowered woman right now, and how it didn't take her power away from living this life on the documentary or in the show. So I love seeing who they've become, you know?
The same with us as models. It didn't take away from us that we were models. It actually empowered us. This is Pam.
This is Pam's unseen interview.
Sweet.
And you know what? Her life has changed now again. She has reinvented herself so many times as a survivor, and you got to love a woman that survives.
Absolutely right. And to be able to revisit, you know, the series in the way that, do you think that that they're surprised that there's still so much interest in the series that they were all involved in?
I think they like it.
Yeah,
I
they
think
like
love
it.
People want to be. Everybody wants to be relevant. Everybody wants the positive attention that they got from this. There's nothing negative about it. Even to know the reality of people's backstories, it's interesting. Like, you know, in the Apple TV Supermodel show, it's nice to know that these people go through things that real women, real people go through, because we are all real.
And the thing is, you know, I mean, that's exactly what I was going to say. You stole it.
I'm sorry.
No, but
He thinks my thoughts. He feels my feelings.
The people, you know, they weren't sure when Matt started this project, and then even finding a distributor, and then when he found Hulu, it became very easy that people started to sign up, because people do love Hulu, they do love Disney, and they trust them. And in that, we were all protected in the show. I would say some off-color stuff, and Matt would say, okay, I'll try to leave it in. Let's see what they say. So, you know, I was always trying to be a little fun about it, because my 90s experience was how wild it was, you know, how wild the business was and how wild people were.
And he's not wild.
I'm not wild. I'm just a little old lady sitting in New Jersey. But I mean, you saw, if you guys go to the premiere parties on YouTube and on Facebook and Instagram, if you go to After Baywatch, you will see how much fun these stars had going to these premieres again and going to these interviews again and being their authentic selves. They said in the documentary, I was this when I was younger, now I'm this. One guy was a drug addict, one guy was gay, one guy was, and you know what? They stood there, they told the world, and the world still loved them.
Yes.
That's huge for kids nowadays to see. Be your authentic self.
Exactly.
That was
Very
good. That was good.
empowering. It really, really is. There's another shot as well during the docu-series.
Yeah, he was, I liked him because he gave really good detail about
He's emotional.
being the first black man on a show like that, surrounded by all these white women, and how he felt about that. Then they had the first black lifeguard. Was it Maureen Gallagher or the other girl?
No,
That
Tracy
other girl,
Bingham.
Tracy Bingham.
But looks like Maureen.
Yeah,
She's beautiful.
they had the first black, and Michael Bergen, who I love. He was Carolyn Bassett's real love.
Stop it.
I'm allowed to say it.
No, don't say it.
I said it, Michael. I
worked with him a couple of times.
Michael was great, and I said in the documentary, it was amazing because he was plastered 5 stories tall in underwear down on Houston Street, and we all fell in love with him. And then you turn your TV on, and there he is on Baywatch. And that was the connection. Calvin Klein was using these models, and different magazines were using them. Pam's videos on YouTube, and all of a sudden, there they are on the screen. It was huge. These people brought you into their life and let you be part of it, if that makes sense.
Which is rare. It's not always the case, with Hollywood stars. You don't always get that.
Jim, they weren't separate from us. They were part of us. And we actually would tune in on, whatever night it was back then, to see our best friends on the beach. And Numi, he's going through some health stuff right now, but Matt fell in love with him during production. He really was supportive.
That's why he's not with us today.
Yeah, that's why Matt's not here. I think he's with him right now.
Yeah,
but
he's too emotional.
The magic that went on around this, I think, is going to actually change Matt's life too. And that's what happens in these productions. Some of these celebrities say, I left that film and I'll never forget the experience. I know what that's like, because some of these shoots and videos, you go back and you remember where you were in your life at that
This one I've always loved, Erica Liniak. Remember from E.T.?
Like her
She's the
eyebrows.
little girl in E.T.
She was?
Yes, that he kissed, remember?
I love the
Yeah,
eyebrows.
she's a cutie
Hello.
pie. I love that they all did the show, though. It's really nice to hear from them again and see what they're up to.
And Nicole's going through cancer right now, and she's in remission, I think, right now. And you know what? I love that she showed up in the body she is without her hair. So talk about being pared down and showing up as yourself. How major is that? And not enough people do that. We're all trying to put on filters and artifice. I don't know. Matt did some magic here. It's bigger than we could even talk about. It's not just a fluff piece. This was magic.
It's amazing too that they were so real and so open about it. And,
that's because of Matt.
What were you guys were, you're in the thick of it. Do you feel that most of them think it was a positive experience for them, or were some of them left scarred, or, because they are very open and revealing during the conversations?
I think that, some people, how they got to where they got, they don't want to acknowledge. I think that was the case with Jason Momoa and Pam Anderson, but it's sometimes the things like when I was in Paris last week and I was walking around with my husband and he's like, show me where you lived before. And he said, do you want to get a chicken and an avocado and a piece of toast? Because that's what my roommates and I did. So that beginning, who makes you who you are, that struggle and that strive to get somewhere as a model, I feel that with them. And sometimes I look back on that past and I was like, oh, I did not like, living here like that. But when I revisited it last week, it was
charming.
It was a positive for me. It made me feel good. And my roommates from there immediately started texting me. They go, did you go to our old apartment? Did you walk by? Did you feel the same when you were there? No, I didn't feel the same. I felt good about it. I felt good that I had that experience. I felt those experiences make you so tough. Like what we did, and I know that there was the same way for the women and the men on Baywatch. We were never comfortable. We were always cold or too hot or wearing shoes too small or things too small. So that was our experience. Sorry for the alarms. This is New York City, not the beach, not Malibu.
Wow.
So those struggles make you stronger. And I think that them to be in struggles now and share their struggles now is really important. It's a good share for people.
And it's the same thing that we had. We struggled like crazy. I don't know how Cara from San Francisco, from just outside of San Francisco, just a young girl with a silver tooth,
I did.
became a Vogue supermodel. And I'm a kid from New Jersey. My father's a construction worker from the Ukraine. How did I become a celebrity fashion stylist? And the struggles that got us, the same as these people in a way. We all have struggled to get someplace, and then the world. Someone said, "Oh, you're an icon." It's like, honey, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
But that's good. But I'm also like, a person that's worked on myself,
Yes.
trying to understand what I learned from the past, just like all the people in Baywatch, and like Jason Momoa should have showed up, because you know what? You are revered and loved right now, and you were revered and loved back then. So you don't lose by going backward to go forward. You just kind of step on your foundation and move to the next level.
I think the show is, the reason it was so popular is because it is relatable to everyone. Everyone has a similar experience. We all go through the 20, 30 years back, and you see how different some of your friends are. We don't have all of our friends now, and so to see the things, the struggles that they went through, to share it with all of us, it's really opening your heart. It's opening yourself up. So Matt found a way to get through that.
Matt did it. It's amazing. There's something about him that, I mean, I don't have to do this for him, but he really found a way to chisel through, because AIDS was rampant when Baywatch was on. We were losing people every day. I mean, and Matt found some way to talk to these people about a show that was kind of sexual, but also had some content, and found a way to find these people and put them back together. And I would say that I would not say that one person that did this with Matt is disappointed that they were part of this. I think it is a celebration of life and a celebration of truth. I mean, I don't want to get too deep, but they told their truth. You can't lose by that. The world needs it.
Were some resistant to revisit Baywatch and they didn't want to be a part of it? And they're like, gee, thanks, but that was that period of my life. I'm now doing this. I don't want to participate. Did that happen at all as well?
Pam and Jason Momoa were like that.
You'd have to ask Matt if there's anybody else, but it was Pam and Jason Momoa. And, Jason Momoa wasn't in it for years and years, but Pam was iconic. And you know what? Pam doesn't need to be in it. She is Baywatch.
Yeah.
So, I hate to say it, that
that
it's going to all come around her, and she got what she needed out of it, and now her name's back out there. She's getting these awards for acting. Jamie Lee Curtis just did a post about that. She's one of the most wonderful people she's met.
Oh, bless.
I've met Pam, and she actually is. The Pam that is now that you see without the makeup, with the simple clothes, that's the Pam you see when you visit her at her house. And that's the Pam you see most of these celebrities, though. Right?
Everybody's.
When you go to their houses, I mean, Meryl Streep, she was learning violin, and she came to the door with a violin, and she goes, hey, nice to meet you. I'm just taking violin lessons. Come on in. And it's like, it's Meryl Streep, so it's amazing.
That's what it is.
That they really, and that's why it's also important not to make your celebrities your icons.
No, that's not healthy.
Make them, just start to see that we're all human, and then you can kind of balance. And celebrities also they do owe a little bit of a service to say, guys, this is what the struggle's like. You want to get here, because these kids have fantasies that they're going to be YouTube stars or they're going to be TV stars. And it's like, it's a flash in the pan, kids.
15 minutes.
It comes and goes.
Well, you guys know, because you've worked in the industry so long and you've worked with so many
people. Is he saying that we were a flash in the pan?
Yes.
No. I knew you'd say that.
Give him a hand.
I like that I was a flash in the pan.
Tough
Fade to
hand,
black. No, that because you've seen it with so many people you've worked with and had experiences with, the ups and downs, and you can't just want to be that overnight success, because there really is no such thing, and there's so much work and blood, sweat, and tears behind the scenes. Yeah,
the amount of work to get. How about Cara? Every other day on a plane, when she was 23 years old, 22 years old, she hadn't been on planes
She still is. She just got back in from Paris.
So that's for pleasure.
That's for pleasure.
And so my experience in life is very different than my experience back then. But it's positive. It's positive. It was positive then, and it's positive now. So I'm very, very. I didn't even know that I loved it when I was doing it. I didn't even know that it was a magical part. Like when you're a model and you live in a world where you always make more money than the men, and it does feel good to make more money than men. It is empowering. And and I know all these actors, you change your life, you change your family's life, you change everything, your whole existence people become dependent on your existence, and it's not a negative thing. It's a positive thing. And especially to take people with you. It's really nice. My whole family, nobody traveled, and they all got their passports, and everybody's been to a different country. And it's a very healthy thing. It's a very healthy thing to see the world. It makes you richer in your spirit.
It's kind of great when everybody else is better off because of your success.
And I'm sure that happened to these people in the show.
And you share your success, and then it goes around, is what Matt is doing by by putting these people up there, 5 episodes to show these young people, look what you can do, look what life is, look how you can struggle, look how you can be so famous, and then come out. I love him. He's so hot. He was so hot, David, and then come out on the other side, and just.
I like how you slipped that in and then continued your sentence where you were.
Stop saying things like slip in when I see David.
He segues.
Hello.
That was a segue. That was a smooth segue. Yeah.
Beauty pie.
Look at them. And they, the thing is, Matt was such a good interviewer that they let him in their homes. Look at his, this is going to sound goofy to people out there, but his lighting is great.
Yeah,
They look is great. He made sure they had hair and makeup. It wasn't like some ghetto production. He really, out of his pocket, he did this. And it's changing documentary, and I'm very proud of him. Do you want to know where it's going to be seen?
Jason Momoa.
Yes, absolutely.
I have my glasses.
I didn't know him from Baywatch. I didn't remember him. I remember Tracy. Obviously, she was incredible. So foxy.
So it's ABC News Studios. It's on Hulu, and it's streaming on Disney Plus in select countries. Albania, Australia, Bosnia, Bulgaria, Canada, Croatia, Gibraltar, Herzegovina, which is like Ava Herzegovina, Ireland, Kosovo, Montenegro, New Zealand,
Serbia.
North Macedonia, Philippines, Serbia, Singapore, Slovenia, South Africa, and the United Kingdom. So if these people thought it was not good to do a documentary that just put them out in another 50 countries, 20 years, 30 years later of their life, they're crazy.
It's incredible, really. It's amazing, the response, right? And
yeah, and I just did it to support the 90s and the 80s and what it was like for us then and how different it is now.
That was Matt's approach to us when he asked me to ask Paulina, and I said, come over to my house and we can just do it here. It'll be easy. And Moira Mulholland will do the makeup and I'll have a hair person here. It turns out to be really nice and easy because Matt was saying your experience is similar to what their experience was. And it was that Sports Illustrated time, that Victoria's Secret's time where it was huge. They were a huge deal. Baywatch, Victoria's Secret, Sports Illustrated ruled the world.
Yep. Those girls ruled. And I watched the Victoria's Secret show last night and I thought it's lost the luster that it, for me, that
I thought it was a bit better.
During Baywatch, Victoria's, and all the stuff that you girls were shooting, every girl wanted to be a Victoria's Secret model then. Every girl wanted to be an angel. Every girl wanted to be English lady. It was like the thing to do. And Matt really, by bringing in Cara as, I hate to say that, model expert of those years, she lived it with all the girls. She lived it with Naomi and Stephanie Seymour, all friends, and Cindy and Christy Turlington. They're all still friends. They're all still kind. And they can show you what it's like to survive a business that didn't necessarily support you, use that business to get a life, a better life, and share it with their family and friends. I mean, Naomi does 1 million charities. Cindy is doing charities. Christy does Every Mother Counts.
That's amazing.
Nobody tells you that they're doing these things, but these girls are giving back. And that's what you want to do with your fame.
And my son Nick is running the marathon for Christie's Every Mother Counts. So you can donate to him, Nick Durazio. At Every Mother Counts. I'm gonna post his little page.
And you can go to his own page, right? At Nick Durazio, Dorazio. And he needs donations.
He does.
Every Mother Counts, about taking care of pregnant mothers all over the world. So I like what my girlfriends have done that I met 40 years ago. I like who they've become. I like who we've all become. That we care enough to talk about the past, to give back, to talk about the truth. I just saw a new stylist out on TV the other day, acting fabulous and smoking and acting fabulous. And I thought, it's so false. And the kids love it, but it's just not true. Zendaya stylist. It's just not true.
She's adorable.
It's not as easy as they're making it look with one client. Because
I think that's what people find refreshing about the both of you. You've had the height of success and you've been around it all, but yet you have found peace, solace, grounding, and an understanding of really what life means and what it's really all about behind. We all work in these industries, me with television and radio and film and all, and being in these situations where you have all the lighting and all the people and and it's easy to go down that path and just stay stuck in that path, right?
And all the money
that follows. But you have a way to, which is what I love about the both of you and why I think we click so well. You have a real true understanding of what humanity is and what it's all about. People probably find that refreshing. You know, they're like, wow, we'd expect the two of these iconic people to be, there's that word iconic, to be like this. Excuse me, take a number. But you're not that way. You're so affable and approachable and real, and you inspire others who think about going into these industries, my friend.
Unless we hate you.
He acts like he hates.
Yeah,
a lot of
don't get
people.
on their
I'm
hate
kidding.
list because
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Hey, I love a young kid that wants to be a stylist and wants to come in and wants to learn and wants to do stuff. You know, I love somebody that wants to try to do this. I saw a young girl that wants to be a model. She's 16, she's 5'3", and I was like, let's get you into commercials. You're not tall enough to model, but boy, oh boy, is she gorgeous.
And he's been very supportive of my son Nick's, and he's been taking pictures.
Stupendous.
And he's an amazing photographer. And
The business
Wayne has helped him so much. We did a job together, and I said, you don't have to give him the job. And he's like, no, I want to give him the job. He deserves the job.
The business is different. They're not giving people chances. And if I can give, or not to say we're fabulous, but if she can, or I can give you a chance and I can't do a job and I can hand it off to a stylist that's young, that's good, hand it off. Great. I have a new assistant. Hello.
Was there any contact with?
We'll take Jim's job. Just give us the show. And, you know,
was there any contact with David Hasselhoff through any of this?
Matt, I
don't know if he did.
Yeah, he did. He was reluctant. Matt can correct me. I'm sorry, Matt, if I'm wrong, but he was reluctant in the beginning, but then he did speak and he helped. I think he's a co-producer on it, or he's a producer, to tell you the truth. I think that's how they got him to do it. From what I know. I don't know enough about the background stuff, so I won't talk to that, but I'll tell you
the backstory of the backstory.
I don't know the backstory of the backstory.
And of course, there's the original, and then there was sort of like the remake, and then
But you know what? The original guys that started Baywatch were very supportive of Matt. They're in the interviews, so I don't know. You have to give this guy Matt credit for just being a model and an actor and finding his way to get what he needed from these people. And Matt has this guy Ari. He has a great team of guys he works with, these film guys. And you know what?
That crew was good.
The whole crew was kind. When you have kind people doing a kind show and you have a good editor, you're going to win. Winning.
That's right. Exactly.
Except if you're Charlie Sheen.
What is that?
That's a mermaid egg.
Okay. It's a pumpkin.
Wait, isn't that Finding Nemo?
No, it's the thing that you save
I
people
know what
with,
it is.
silly.
Hello. I haven't saved anybody. I don't know. I don't save anybody.
Save yourself.
I'm saving myself. For marriage. If anybody wants to get married, I'm saving myself.
Your mom's doing well, huh, Wayne? That's good to hear.
Oh, yeah. That was terrible. Yeah, she's great. She's doing great.
Close call, right?
Yeah, you know, but the thing is, that's the process. Like, I just stopped doing a job. A contract ended July 29th. And I was so upset that it ended. But if that contract had continued, I couldn't have helped my mom the last 3 weeks. So you have to trust. Listen, the hardest thing is, and if you're not in therapy, get in it. The hardest thing is trust therapy. The hardest thing is to trust. I was going to say therapist. Trust the rapist. No, the therapist. If you got to trust the journey. I mean, you got to have faith that the next step is going to be. Your journey is already planned. And someone said, this meditation teacher, they said, who are you to judge another's journey? And then she said to me, who are you to judge your own?
That is a good thing to say. And I also want to put that back to the show. That's the thing, is that everybody's process was different. I don't know anybody. None of our backstories were the same, even if we grew up in the same place. Like myself and Christy Turlington from the same town, our stories were different. Our paths were different.
Mm-hmm.
Our backstory is different. That's why it's good, these docuseries, that Hulu docuseries on After Baywatch, to know people's backstories and to know how they got to where they were.
Mm-hmm.
It relates to everybody.
So good. You guys, you watch documentaries on Albert Einstein and Thomas Edison, and people have lives now that have changed the world.
Yes.
People, Tim Scott. What did Trump call him? Tim Apple. Tim Scott of Apple. You have people now that have changed the world in the years while you guys have been alive. You don't have to go all the way back to history to know that you can do this. You can do this. You can marry a big-breasted woman like Jeff Bezos and be rich.
That's pretty.
I like her. She's got a heart. Did you see the book she wrote?
No.
She wrote a beautiful children's book. I saw her on The View. She almost was a host on The View, and they didn't hire her. Isn't that
Oh,
funny?
really? I didn't know she was
came
almost a
on.
host.
Do you know what? She was so kind, so kind-hearted, so loving of children that I fell in love with her on that show. So if you're out there, call us.
Watch the magic of After Baywatch.
Yeah, watch After Baywatch all over Europe now. Hulu in America, Disney Plus streaming. It's 5 episodes. They end up being about 45 minutes each because of commercials. But there's not many because it's streaming. There's like one. You know.
Now, did you like the producing aspect? Would you like to do more of that work?
I
Queen?
tell him he is a producer.
Yeah, that's
it's
what I'm
funny that
saying.
you say that because I've done so many things with him, and I didn't know because I have to be honest. As a model, I do my job, and I go home.
Yeah.
I come there how they want me to come there. They want me to paint my nails light. They want me to come a certain way. I come that. Then I'm done. But they are there before. They're there. He's there after. He's managing what goes on. Matt would call him and say, you know, can you do this? Can you ask this? Can you make sure this person is that way? Can you make sure Paulina stays a little bit longer? So it's
the models show up and they get 10,000 and I get there at 6 a.m. and make sure the breakfast is there, make sure the clothes are there, make sure the hair and makeup is hired, make sure the studio has air conditioning, the right music. Then you work all day dressing the girls because you love and you take care of them. And then they go home and then you clean and you sweep up and you clean up the studio and you do all the invoices and the models leave. So I had 30 years of being a producer. And that really,
but he didn't know he was. I told him you're producing all these things.
I was just used to taking care of everything because I'm a control freak about it being perfect. So I was used to doing that, but I never knew that I could start doing it. And I thought,
you're doing it.
I read that my favorite book is You'll Never Eat Lunch in This Town Again. Remember that book? My favorite. But I loved how she just became a producer of Close Encounters, and she just went through all that stuff with all these crazy people. Because I'll say one thing, for me, I'm just going to say what I did was I had to get healthy. I had to get better so that I could manage 20 people in a studio. I wasn't healthy when I started. So if somebody was bad, I would get angry. If somebody was not on time, I'd get mad at them. Now it's just like, okay, let's move on and let's see, learning how to.
Yeah, they popping back.
Complete success in this business.
You're right.
And having a little style.
Showing up as kid.
Yeah. Showing up as your complete self. None of this drama, and we've seen when models come in as a new girl who's scared to death deer in the headlights, and then you see her 6 months later when she got her L'Oreal campaign and she treats you like garbage when she walks on the set, and you're like, wait a second, girl. No. That was Cara. No. You're like, wait a second, girl. When did you get famous? When did this happen that you forgot that you couldn't even afford lunch when I paid for your lunch last time you were here?
But most of the people that we work with are nice.
Our people we love. Great. That's why we're still friends with Christy and Naomi and Stephanie and these people, because these girls are great people. And Cindy, I don't even see her as much, but I was with Cindy every day for 6 years. Cindy Crawford.
Did you ever work with, we were talking about him recently, Richard Simmons?
I worked with Richard Simmons. I did. I worked with Barry Manilow one night and Richard Simmons. What a combination. But Richard was in private in the back room. He was kind. He was a kind soul. And he had a lot of body issues, even though you didn't know that. So you would dress him and he would keep looking in the mirror. You'd have to tie his sneakers a certain way. He was very OCD. But then the minute you walked out of the dressing room, he wasn't your buddy. He was Richard Simmons.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
he was fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. And then he'd come back.
On.
And then he'd be tired and he'd be your friend again. So he was great. He's a loss to the world, and he's been a loss for many years. He shouldn't have hid away for so many years.
Yeah, right. And he was just on that comeback where he was active on social media, celebrated his birthday.
Yeah.
And now,
Listen, it's the process. I mean, I just watched a video with Shirley MacLaine last week on Instagram, and I was shocked how she's changed, because I've dressed her for the movie with Nicolas Cage. Remember that one?
Yes.
I dressed her for that, and I dressed her for 2 more things, and I fell in love with her. But when I didn't like how they lit her and how she looked, when she spoke, I was in love with her again, because she's still Shirley MacLaine.
Faye Dunaway documentary you need to watch.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Well, Faye Dunaway was always mean. Hello.
I don't care.
Was she in
what are
Baywatch?
some cool things, separate from the After Baywatch, and again, congratulations on that. Some other cool things that you guys are working on collaboratively and independently.
We're working on trying to survive. Go ahead.
Wayne was produced and created everything this golf company for.
That's great. You met Dara, Devin Halsey.
Yeah. For a year he did that and totally mastered this brand. And
I worked with DevinHalsey.com as a creative director and stylist, and we turned it into like this
beautiful.
really
And now
fabulous.
he's looking for a new.
Now I'm looking for a new creative director gig. So guys, reach out. Call me. But I mean, that was fun. And then, doing personal styling here and there for people. I just dressed, you don't know this. Did you know this? I dressed Stephanie Rule last night for the Fashion International Group Awards. She gave an award to Fern Malice.
Oh, nice.
And I dressed her for that. And then she's like, well, what do you think of this? I'm like, I don't like it. She goes, well, I like it. I said, well, I don't like it. We were doing it on text. And I go, how about you put a velvet blazer or a blazer on it with strong shoulders, push the sleeves up? And then she didn't respond. And I thought she was mad. And then the next shot, she's got the blazer. I said, put it over the shoulders. And all night she got best dressed because of that blazer over the shoulders, balancing the dress. And now she's doing something for the Archdiocese of New York does this big Catholic dinner for politics.
It's Al Smith. Peter, my husband, was on the board for 10 years.
Their Wi-Fi is going in and out, so there they are. They're back.
Incredible.
So for the Al Smith thing, we're dressing her in this Sierra Bonet navy dress, and then she's got one more dress she's wearing to the dinner. So I'm quietly, I didn't even tell you, did I? I'm quietly doing celebrities just quietly when they call and they ask what I think. I would love a huge production. I love 20 people. I love, a film, a video. I'm great at it, but they're not out there, and they're actually not out there for the money.
That's what I was going to say. They're not right. It's the industry has shrunk in that regard, and even with they said a lot of the major concert acts are canceling their concerts because tickets are not selling, and they can't fill the big stadiums.
Oh, do you mean J-Lo?
Stop. Bless her. Poor thing. She went through a lot. I'm doing our friend Philip Block's sweater company on Saturday.
Where is it? At the Central Park?
It's in no. It's I think it's gonna be at the Chelsea Hotel.
She's doing a big fashion show for Philip Block. He does this beautiful embellished sweater company. He was the first ever celebrity fashion stylist. Before I got the moniker, he was the one. So it's amazing to see Philip. He did Halle Berry. Didn't he do everybody? Salma Hayek. He did everybody.
Yeah, Salma definitely.
So she's doing his sweater company. So we're doing whatever people that we like and jobs we like, we take.
If somebody,
And I'm not flush with cash. I just do what I like because I want to do what I like.
And he does a lot of, we do Amazon Lives. We have a friend that she has an Amazon Live channel, and she asked us to special guest for her. So and she also has a company, Bella Brazilian Boutique. So we shoot and do.
Yeah, we do all this stuff to help people and to use what we can do. Like Sandra Johnson, at Sandra Johnson. The link is in her bio to shop on Amazon Live. So
it's so cute. The show is so
cute.
You
should see the show, Jen. The three of us do a show every week, and it's fun.
That's fantastic. That's
do you like that we did this together, or do you wish we were separate?
No, I like it because we had you separately, and it's cool when you're together. I enjoyed it. Yeah,
Matt did us together. Well, he interviewed me for a model thing a long time ago. That's how I met him. And then Wayne was in back of me, popping out, saying sarcastic things.
I'm just a nice boy.
And for those that are experienced lip readers, you guys are together quite a bit, right? It's really a wonderful relationship you have.
He knows everyone in my family. We worked together. We did like Revlon, and we did Marco Polo. We did campaigns together. We worked together quite a bit. My sister, we were in San Francisco doing this job just by pure coincidence. And my sister came to his hotel room while he was dressing me for a shoot. And he asked to look at her shoes.
Explain the shoes. Plastic.
They were see-through shoes, like with the goldfish.
Stripper shoes. Stripper shoes this high with the goldfish and the toes crawling out like scrimps.
And he threw them out the window. So
Jim, I threw them out the 27th floor. What's that hotel?
At the Mark Hotel.
At the Mark Hotel in San Francisco. I could have killed someone.
Probably. Did you really?
I don't even know what I was thinking, but I gave her a pair of Chanel shoes to go home, so she won.
This is true. She did win. But him and I worked together forever. We did that Revlon Most Unforgettable Women in the World. I'm not sure if that's where we met. That one with Christy and myself.
I think we met on Navy.
Oh,
CoverGirl.
right. We did
CoverGirl?
CoverGirl. Yeah.
CoverGirl Navy perfume. Carl was the Navy perfume girl.
Yeah. And that's where we met.
And her husband was shooting it. Hello, her old
He was
husband.
not my husband.
He wasn't
He was
your
my
old
boyfriend.
husband? Oh, her old boyfriend. Old.
Stop. I'm like a man, I do younger.
He has photos in the documentary. He
Yeah.
has photos of Pam Anderson in the documentary.
He did do the most incredible pictures.
Cara's ex, Sante Durazio, Nick's father, has the most iconic pictures ever shot of.
It's true. He
Pamela
did Playboy
Anderson.
with her.
He did Playboy with her. So, I mean, everybody's connected, and that's why this has been kind of amazing to do, because it's like bringing a family back together.
Which is what it's all about, right? When you have an opportunity to work with people again, or even meet them for the first time, just
The
create
rekindle
that,
is good.
to rekindle.
We rekindled. We ran into each other.
We rekindled.
We didn't see each other for a long, long time, and we rekindled.
She dumped me.
No, you know what happened? We models were beneath him, right? So he was shot with all the Revlon, all these campaigns, and then he decided that he wanted to be like with Whitney Houston and Tina Turner and Janet Jackson. So he actually dumped us.
That's the truth.
And now he's come crawling back after we showed poor Janet's nipple.
I showed her nipple at the Super Bowl, and now I came crawling back.
Yeah, he came crawling back to me. So
you know what it was? I got a job with I was working with Janet on a job, and Kevin Aquan, the makeup artist, met me, and he said, "You need to use him all the time." And then he took me to Tina and said to Tina's manager, "She needs Wayne." And it went so fast that there was no time to do models and advertising anymore. I just started doing
disappeared from the face of the earth.
Singers, and then Justin Timberlake.
You know, when he's talking about the people who get above themselves and conceited.
That was me.
That was him. He's talking about himself. It's not me, it's him. It's true.
That's him.
That's
Did
You
you?
can
We
tell,
just
but
lost. We just lost Tito Jackson too. Did you have interaction with Tito over the years too?
I knew Tito.
all of them,
I
right?
dressed Janet at I dressed Whitney Houston and Deborah Cox for the Michael Jackson concert in Madison Square Garden that Elizabeth Taylor was at. Remember that?
What happened to us?
You there, Jim?
Oh yeah, I remember
And it
that.
was-
Yeah.
It was the night before September 11th at Madison Square Garden, and then all the celebrities got stuck in New York. It was September 10th, 2 nights, 9th and 10th. I met Tito that night, and I liked Tito the most, and I liked Marlon. No,
Okay.
Tito. And so that was great to meet the family, and I loved Michael. I loved Janet. At the end, Janet didn't have much. They all talk about all these best friends. They didn't have much contact at the end because Michael's people made a bubble around him. And remember, even during the shooting of Scream, they had them in separate rooms. They didn't see each other.
That's
People
awful.
think it's this great family get together. They were in separate rooms. They weren't even together. So Michael had a rough time at the end with people taking control of him and his life.
Poor thing.
Do you miss the old days of Hollywood glamour, which isn't really out there to the degree it is now? Now it's more, like a TikTok influencer or something. Do you miss all of that old Hollywood at all?
What I did is I just watched John Galliano's fashion show a couple days ago on the internet. And for me, I love the internet because I can see what turned me on years ago. I just watched John Galliano's show, and then I watched another John Galliano show for Dior.
Watch me in it.
I watched Cara in it with the hat on. And then I start to like foam at the mouth because those fashion shows were so special and unique and so inspiring. Now these kids on the internet go, ew, what's all those clothes? No one's going to wear all that. The point is, bitches, it was inspiration. So you're supposed to look at the show and get inspired. Do I miss it? 1,000%. Christine Baranski at that last awards show kind of pulled it off a little bit with that Oscar de la Renta. And I'm watching some of the girls pull it off, but then they pull back. I even love how Emily Blunt usually looks. Emily Blunt kind of pulls it out for the award shows. And I think that there's a respect if you do that, to start looking great when you go to these shows, because the days of Edith Head are over, the days of studio contracts. You're paying stylists $7,000 and $10,000 a day, and you just have to work with whatever dresses are left.
I compartmentalized. I do think it was very glamorous. I think there'll never be a time like that again. That's why I think the show was relevant.
Yeah, Baywatch.
The 90s models, that's why people are obsessed with them, because it was a magnificent, spectacular time. But I think that now the world changed and people don't buy magazines anymore. And so I think that the world changed, and we have to respect that it's progress.
I used to buy Italian Vogue, and they were $17 back then, Italian Vogue. And we would sit in Miami when nobody was in South Beach, remember? There was the Century Hotel on First Avenue in South Beach, Miami. And we would sit there with the German tourists, and we would go peeling through the Stephen Meisel. Cars worked with Stephen and Carlene Surf, the stylist, editor. We would peel through these magazines and go, oh my God, look at this. Oh my God, we wanted to copy what these people were doing. That's how amazing magazines used to be. It's all changed. I mean, Stephen Klein is doing some stuff that interests me. He's a good photographer. And this guy Smidgy, I've been liking his stuff lately. Nick Durazio, Cara's son, has to get a gig that everybody sees because his stuff that he's shooting personally is, I can tell when it's great. And I don't have to say it's great. So I miss the budgets, and I miss the models, who they were, and I miss the magic. Yeah.
The budgets he misses the most.
I miss the budgets the most. I always
The budgets.
I tell him it's not the 90s. Don't court all this stuff.
I spend too much.
Yeah, he does.
Did you?
I try to tell him.
What'd you spend it on, Wayne?
We would get, for Cindy for Revlon, we'd have 2 outfits and they'd give me $69,000 for 2 outfits.
I'm scared.
So I used to buy the best clothes. And the reason why the girls, girls used to have a list and they'd put you on the top of the list or the bottom of the list. And they'd hire you first and then they'd go down the list, the clients. I was on the top of Cindy and Claudia's list and, Vendela's list, Car's list. And they would be like, oh no, he's going to be too expensive. And it's like, I would lower my rate, but then I would buy so many clothes and the girls would go home with the clothes. And one day on a shoot.
I never took anything.
Well, Cindy once, I gave her an outfit to wear to her birthday and she goes, you're going to get in trouble like my friend because you're giving clothes away. You're going to get in big trouble. And you know what? Got in trouble.
She's coming tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, good. It wasn't big trouble, but it was trouble.
Cool
they didn't
stuff.
let us keep anything.
That's
to me, they didn't let us keep anything.
Yeah,
because when you shoot something, it's not produced yet. And they also, if you shoot something, maybe it didn't look right and they might have to reshoot it. So that is precisely why they don't give you things.
So you don't get any goodies, huh? No goodies to take home.
I didn't.
Jim, you don't sound too excited to talk to us.
No, it's exciting. I'm listening to these stories. It's fabulous.
He's drama.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
So-
thank you for meeting with us today. Sorry we had so many technical difficulties.
No, it's
we wanted
worth
to
it.
go somewhere that was all white and a dreamy looking room, but we just didn't have any internet up there. You were.
No, it's a cool angle too, the way you have the background blur.
Look at the lines.
Yeah.
You see the
The
lines?
hallway. I mean, it looks like a museum.
We're living in a tenement. We actually borrowed someone else's house to shoot this.
It's always awesome
Wade's
seeing
sitting
you
on the
guys.
toilet right now.
I'm sitting on the toilet right now, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I don't
Actually,
want to flush.
yeah.
I don't want to flush till you hang up.
See, they're real people, folks. They're real people.
We have one of those guys. We have one of those toilets that are 2 people. It's like a love seat toilet.
So nice. His
So we
butt
can-
is so warm.
Yeah, we can face each
His
other.
butt is so warm.
We can flush at the
Cozy.
same time.
Hand each other instead of sugar, you can hand paper.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Jeez. I tell
Wipes,
you.
baby wipes.
No, don't use it. My sewer got
Don't
flooded
flush
because
the-
of you.
I don't use the
Everybody
wipes. That
blames you. Everybody blames you.
I never use the wipes at her house.
He's using one now.
These are all exclusive, folks.
Guys, I'm telling you this. Watch the documentary on Hulu.
Yes.
It's even good on a Saturday, Sunday afternoon when you're sitting home. Don't watch the Netflix stuff. It's joyous. It's full of memories in life. And anybody, I'm 59 this year, am I? I don't know what you are, but I'm 59. Anybody from my age group down 20 years, you're going to remember everything. You're
I
gonna
will
remember-
tell you a little tidbit story. So when I was a model in California, Lisa Rena, I used to work with her
I love
all
her.
of the time, all the time. And so she said, she called me and said, oh, you moved to LA with your boyfriend? I said, yeah. And she's like, oh, can I come stay the night with you? And do you know an agent? So my old roommate, I actually lost my friendship from this, my roommate from Japan. I said, oh, my friend wants to come and get an agent and she's going to stay the night at my house. Can she talk to your agent? Then she ended up getting that part on Baywatch and did what she did.
Who got it?
Lisa Rinna was on Baywatch.
I
She
didn't
wasn't
know
a
that.
girl on Baywatch. She was David Hasselhoff's girlfriend for a minute.
didn't know
This
that.
is true. This is true. And
Why didn't she do the show?
I don't know.
Why is she not here with Jim right now?
She's so cute. She's so
Oh
funny.
my God, Lisa.
Anyway, so that's.
I
a
was
little tidbit,
wondering
little
that
Baywatch
myself,
trivia.
Wayne.
Say what, Jim? What'd you say?
I was wondering why she isn't here myself, Wayne.
We'll get her next time. We'll get her next. She's wonderful. We'll get her next time.
You guys are awesome. Really, it's
Thank
always
you for
terrific
having
to
us.
see you. I don't want to take too much of your time because I know you're busy, but
Thank you so much.
it's always a blessing, a joy, a lot of fun. And for anybody that watches our series, these are conversations, not really interviews. These are free flowing. There were no pre-prepared questions. They didn't demand any questions in advance. There was nothing I prepared. You know,
I demanded.
now they demand the questions. See, they work in reverse. You guys are the best, dear friends of mine and of each other and of our show. And as I always say, the porch light is on for you. Come back and see us anytime. And yes, let's meet in Manhattan for a bite and some sip. That would be fabulous. And I really
let's
appreciate
make a plan. What's that movie where we make a plan and then I tell you I'm going to meet you at the Empire State Building and then I get hit by a cab and then you come see me and then I'm tripping. What movie is that? You know the movie. Jim, come on, you know it.
I know it. It's terrible. Don't say that.
That's a great movie. She's like on the couch with the blanket. He's like, you didn't show up. She's
when
like,
you
I
get
don't
caught
have
between
any
the moon and
Say
New
what?
York City. Arthur. No.
No. It's a
Dudley
famous
Moore.
classic.
It's old. It's Jimmy Stewart, right?
Yeah, and Annette Bening redid it.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was good. All right, so we're gonna bounce and thank you.
And say hi to Merlin. We see her all over Facebook and all your people that love us, and we love it. And Cara is at the KARAYOUNG at the Cara Young. I'm at Wayne Scott SCOTLUKASTYLE. MOUSE.
So bottom line, people will thoroughly enjoy reminiscing with After Baywatch, right? It's a must see.
They'll love it. They will love it. It'll make you rewatch the show.
Yes, and go to After Baywatch at After Baywatch on Instagram. You'll see everything. You'll see
to check it all out.
Scenes. Matt is a genius.
You guys are the best. Thanks so much for being on the Jim Master Show. We love the two of you. Come see us again, and we'll chat afterwards. As always, you're dear friends, and I love you both.
All right, bye, Jim.
Bye, Jimmy.
Thank you, Jim.
I didn't see George Burns. Goodbye.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah, fun, really fun.
What happened to George Burns?
He's in bed sleeping.
Oh, I've heard that before. All right.
Let's see. Kara needs a drink.
We love you. If you need anything, you call us. Was that okay?
Absolutely, my friends.
Did you like it? Do you like us?
I love you guys. Do you love me?
Yes.
Hello. That's how we wanted to do it. It's like we just kept. My mom was sick, and Carl was traveling, spending millions of dollars, and it was just.
Oh, people don't realize we all of us, Wayne and I and Kara, have worked so hard to put this episode together because there was life events and things, and even for Matt, who was going to be with us, a life event in his life. So. But hey, here we are, and that's what matters, right?
It's magic. Hey, listen, God puts us together when we're supposed to get together. You got to keep the faith, people.
Absolutely right, my friend. You
the
be
only way
well.
To succeed is you got to keep the faith. King Saul told David he couldn't slay the giant Goliath. He only had a slingshot, and David had faith in God to know that he could take that slingshot and slay the giant, and he saved all the people. So you're going to have a lot of King Sauls in your life that show up and tell you can't do anything, but you got to have your faith in God or the universe to know you can do everything.
Absolutely right, my friend. I second that emotion. Beautiful way to wrap. You be well, my friend. Okay.
Right. Thanks, Jim. We love you.
We love you back. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. How cool was that, huh? To have Wayne Scott Lucas with us, internationally acclaimed celebrity fashion stylist and entrepreneur extraordinaire and host and more. And of course, award-winning American and international model and entrepreneur Cara Young returning to our show. If you didn't see the episodes that they were on with us, they've been with us before as special guests talking about their backgrounds. And Wayne has been with us for a couple of tribute episodes, Lisa Marie Presley and others that we've done. Which was terrific. And in this episode, we were celebrating Baywatch, and in this case, After Baywatch, Moment in the Sun, which is streaming on Hulu, and then I think they mentioned overseas on Disney, and really, really cool. So for all those Baywatch fans out there who loved the original series, and then of course the updated versions and all, check that out, After Baywatch. Again, these are riveting and revealing and very, very impactful and inspiring conversations that Matt and the team have with some of your favorite stars. And, they're very open about how Baywatch changed their life. And not all of it was terrific. Not all of it was all glitz and glam. They're very real. They're very open about it, about what it was like to be on the show and behind the scenes and, all the rest and all the joys and pleasures of it too. And really, really cool special. And hope you guys enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun having our friends Wayne and Kara with us here on the show. And again, these are some of the stars that are in the docu-series, which is still showing now at the time of this broadcast of the Jim Masters Show. We always like to have a lot of fun and put some great episodes together. So celebrating Baywatch and celebrating the stars of Baywatch as well. After Baywatch, Moment in the Sun, as celebrated here on the show. If you enjoyed this episode and all the episodes you enjoy of the Jim Masters Show, we would love it if you don't keep it secret that we're here. Let everybody know that the Jim Masters Show series is available for you, and you can binge watch all the episodes on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Matter of fact, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. It doesn't cost anything. Become a part of the Jim Masters Show Love Day family. Also, share this episode on your social media and drop a comment. Did you enjoy this episode? Leave a comment in the comments section. We love when you take a moment to interact with us and leave comments underneath the episode. Did you watch Baywatch? Was that a series of yours that you enjoyed? Also, did you get a chance to see After Baywatch, the docuseries yet? Who are some of your favorites from Baywatch for those super Baywatch fans out there? And of course, to have Wayne and Kara back with us. We talk all the time, off air. We're wonderful friends, and we get a chance to have a lot of laughs and everything. We got to get together for dinner in Manhattan at some point. We've been talking about that, but we wanted to put this episode together because After Baywatch just came out recently on streaming on Hulu. So we wanted to put this together. But, there were some life events that they had that got in the way. And then Kara, of course, was in Paris a couple of times, actually, and just got back. And Wayne, of course, with his mom, and then Matt with a friend, and just all the different things that go on. So here we are. We're glad we were able to do it for you, and certainly hope you enjoyed it. So give this episode a thumbs up like on our YouTube channel. That counts a lot when you do that. They keep track of it, YouTube. So when you do like, comment, and subscribe, it helps our show grow, and it helps us reach more people and allows us to do more of these episodes, special episodes like this, celebrating Baywatch and all of our regular guests. If you want to see the episodes where Kara was a guest and where Wayne has been a guest, you can see that all archived on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. And for everybody watching, thank you for your support of our show. All the love, the sharing, commenting, subscribing. And if this was the first time you were watching us, welcome to the Jim Masters Show entertainment, lifestyle, celebrity talk show series. It's always great to have our regulars here, and always great to have new folks like you joining us if you're joining us for the very, very first time. So good stuff. We thank Kara and Wayne being with us, and we thank you for being with us as well. Come see us again. The porch light is always on for you as well. This is your host, Jim Masters, thanking you for your time, this time till next time. And thanks for all the comments, and keep them coming on our YouTube channel. If you didn't get a chance to comment, leave a comment for us. We would love to see it and love to have you back with us. Don't forget to love one another, take care of one another, and don't forget to love and take care of yourself. Very important to do that. I try to remember to say that at the end of each of our shows, and we'll keep that light on for you. Thanks for being with us as we celebrated Baywatch and After Baywatch, Moment in the Sun, right here on JMS, the Jim Masters Show. Take care and be well. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers.